DEI, BLM, Blue Lives Matter. I get it. But at the end of the day, all freaking lives matter. Yes, this world is freaking horribly unjust. Yes, there have been some horrible things that have happened on this freaking planet. But at the end of the day, in 2025, I think I want us to be mindful that a lot of this is just freaking smoke and freaking mirrors.
DEI announcements at Target as well. And as disheartening as it is for me, I'm not the only one affected by this, right? It's for everyone who is a woman-owned business, minority-owned businesses, Black-owned businesses. It's for so many of us who work so very hard to be placed into retail, to finally be seen.
What's going on, my good people? Welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. So today we're going to be talking about DEI, and I want to touch on BLM. So we're going to be talking about diversity, equity? Diversity, equity, inclusion. And I just want to weigh in how I'm going to tie this into Black Lives Matter. I think both programs initially were created to serve a purpose. I can't say that either program is doing any benefit. I mean, as of right now, Donald Trump put anyone in federal government who was hired under that program on paid leave. Donald Trump put people who were hired under that program on paid leave when you and I, the middle class, are out here struggling to buy eggs, y'all. I've said this 1,000 times in a bunch of different videos. One of my greatest issues, and I'm going to play something from Tabitha Brown, Al Sharpton, and one of this, a news reporter gentleman who had some interesting things to say. Al Sharpton was out in Harlem buying some gift cards to Costco. Check this video real quick.
He bought $125 gift cards and gave them out to people, brought them over here to this East Harlem Costco and let them shop to send a message that if they support Costco's going to support them.
We will stand with those that stand with us.
So Al Sharpton was out there in Harlem buying some gift cards saying, if you support us, we support you. I thought about what to talk about when when the hell are we gonna freaking just come together? That's just it. I mean, we are the human race. We're the freaking human race. All different shades, colors, sizes. Some of us have. The greatest thing I've learned in life is that we all need each other. I learned some very valuable things from my African American friends, from my Asian friends, from my Caucasian friends. And I think the thing that spins around in my head the most when I hear DEI, BLM, Blue Lives Matter, I get it. But at the end of the day, all freaking lives matter. Yes, this world is freaking horribly unjust. Yes, there have been some horrible things that have happened on this freaking planet. But at the end of the day, in 2025, I think I want us to be mindful that a lot of this is just freaking smoke and freaking mirrors. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't shop at Target. I don't shop at Costco's. I shop at freaking the local food stores, Walmart a lot of the times, Amazon, you know. And at the end of the day, I am not looking across the counter to see what anybody's race is, sexual preferences. I'm looking to get my products and services at a good price. So when I hear all of these now social media is buzzing with all this stuff. But you know what I think about, y'all? A couple of months ago, I got two stories. A couple of months ago, before Trump even was in office, Biden, Harris was still in office. I was in Walmart. food shopping, and was this little elderly white lady, and she's literally frozen. She's freaking frozen by the eggs. And I said, and I thought someone else. I said, "Ma'am, are you okay?" She literally looked like she had tears in her eyes, and she said, "They're so expensive. The eggs, I can't afford them. They're so expensive. I don't know what I'm gonna do." Out here in Columbus, Georgia. Who the hell is listening to her cry? Because that's what really matters. Target, all these big box names, we could boycott, flag them. They're not going to lose all their money. Because there's always going to be a group of people that's going to support them no freaking matter what. When the hell do we get back to we are the human race? I've had racial things happen in my life that were not fair. I can't let that stop me. First, let me say this. For those of you, and I'm not just talking about black people, for those of you who have grown up in the urban area and you're middle class now, you can attest that you've always, in terms of the political arena or the federal arena, we've always been the underdogs. The middle class always gets hit. Listen, if anything happens, so Trump has the DEI federal employees on paid leave. Who's paying for that, y'all? Who the freak is paying for that? We are the middle class. But nobody comes to us asking what the hell we think. Listen, a bunch of y'all voted for him. I'm okay with that. Doesn't bother me anymore. But you and I are still in the same situation. Because if you don't have $1 million in your damn bank account, if you don't have some master plan, if you still on Section 8, if you still trying to get by, if you still trying to hustle just to put some food on your plate or make a better living, we are all in the same boat together. And all of these things up here, that all these executive orders and diversity, equity, inclusion, all of these is smoke and freaking mirrors. Freaking inflation is still off the chain with there is not one executive order yet to bring inflation down. As a matter of fact, if we keep going in this freaking direction, it's going to get worse. And it's going to affect the middle class. And eventually it's going to affect the poor who may be getting federal or government assistance. And when that happens, we are really in trouble. Back in the day, y'all, when Black Lives Matter came out, my biggest thing with Black Lives Matter was there was so many black men, I'm going to say, and black people in general, that could not get the assistance of Black Lives Matter because their case wasn't big enough, or their life was too small, or they weren't on mainstream media, and they just freaking suffer in silence. When we take a stand for something, it has to be inclusion for every freaking body. Earlier today, I was at my full-time job. I'm a field technician, and I work on different kiosks and vending machines. And one of the kiosks I was working at was a coin machine. And there was a lady there, an elderly black lady. She was pouring a little jar. It wasn't much. She may have had maybe $12, $15 in it. But I had just repaired it, so I wanted to make sure that her coins went through fine. So I waited. And so I saw she was a little uncomfortable and nervous. I said, look, I just want to make sure that your coins go down fine, because the machine was getting jammed, and I don't want you not to have the money that you need. And right away she said, yeah, my husband and I got paid early and some things. I said, ma'am, check this out, y'all. I said, ma'am, we all in this together. If we got to get coins, save dollars to make ends meet, that's where we are as a country. That's what we are. Nobody needs to feel bad for anything. I'm not going to let this freaking social media world of people, quote unquote, living this fake life with fake cars. No, the majority of freaking America is paycheck to paycheck, doing their best. Most people, a lot of people, unfortunately, are getting evicted now because they can't afford the rent. Like, When are all these things gonna be dealt with, y'all?
Aaron, the main concern is if DEI isn't forced as a focus, you will not have representation and inclusion of minorities, regardless of foundation of merit. And that's why it needs to be a point of emphasis. What is your response to that argument, and how do you assure that everybody gets a fair chance?
Well, first of all, let me just say that DEI, and it's a construct of DEI, hasn't even been around long enough to even make that kind of a claim. We've had diversity viewpoints, diversity ideas, not just in the federal government, but in the private sector for decades. The equity piece that was really introduced during the Biden-Harris administration at the federal level is the one that has a cause of concern because it ignores merit, it ignores skill sets, it ignores the ability to actually do the job and puts your demographic criteria at the front of the line before your actual qualifications. Look, I think at the end of the day, everybody wants to make sure that people who are getting jobs are qualified to do them. That is most important.
It's crazy. It's freaking crazy. I live in Columbus, Georgia. So let's talk about DEI for a moment. Out here in Columbus, Georgia, there's no, I don't think there's a way for me to report it. But when I first moved down here, I was going on job interviews. I've shared this before. Columbus, Georgia is a freaking military town. If you didn't know that, I did a quick clip in one of my videos my last video, I talked about Columbus a little bit. Columbus, Georgia is a freaking military town. For the most part, the majority of Columbus, let me not say the majority, I'm sorry. As a large part of Columbus, because Fort Moore, which was Fort Benning at one point, is about 5 minutes from where I live at right now. And so the soldiers that are stationed there live in Columbus and live up on Fort Benning, or Fort Moore now. So when they retire here in Columbus, Georgia. When I first moved down here, I'm not military. My wife and I just decided to freaking relocate because we decided to freaking relocate. I was going on job interviews, fully qualified. I got certifications in a bunch of different things. Fully qualified. Talk about diversity, right? Inclusion, and why sometimes these things matter, but sometimes they don't matter. I sat down. Almost everybody I sat down in front was white. Who interviewed me was. Matter of fact, not everyone was white that interviewed me. But the first thing that every single one of them freaking asked me was, "Are you military?" Most of the interviews, I finished the entire interview. But there was one particular individual, I sat down in his office for all of maybe 3 minutes. He sat down. I see he was scanning my resume. He was looking for what military branch I was in. So he says, "Oh, you're not military?" I said, "No, I'm not." He said, "Oh, okay. Well, I got your resume here, and I'm gonna look through your qualifications." Never heard back from him. That's Columbus, Georgia. So when I start hearing, so now who do I go to? Look, my wife and I are good. I mean, I got skills, I got qualifications. I'm employed. We are blessed. My wife, we are blessed. But when we start talking about things that are right and freaking wrong, there's so many freaking people in freaking America that are in these small towns that will never get their freaking just due. But yet we're sitting back and we're paying people to do nothing. I represent the everyday man. Black, white, Asian, other. I represent the freaking middle class. Listen, the reason why social media has taken off the way, because we have all come to the freaking conclusion that a 40-hour-a-week job does not freaking cut it anymore. We have all come to the realization that we need some type of other income to supplement what we're making 40 hours a week. Because a lot of jobs now they're even cutting out the overtime. So all of these freaking programs, they raise these flags and they carry these banners. But I'm saying, for you and I, my brothers and sisters, what we need is to say, you know what? If I can support you in any freaking way, holla at your boy. when people inbox me, and I know they have a YouTube channel or they're doing something, I may not necessarily always have the money to give in that particular moment to purchase a product or something. But a young man told my wife and I this a couple of years ago. And we told him we were content creators. He said, "What's your channel?" I told him my channel. And young guy, I said, "So what's your channel?" He said, I don't have a YouTube channel. I just like to support." He said, "Support is free. Support is freaking free. I'm not bigger than nobody. I'm not better than nobody. It's about inclusion. I watch your videos, you watch my videos. I like your video, you like my video. If it helps." I'm saying forget all these freaking federal programs, Black Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter. What about everyday freaking people? I'm working on a podcast here in Columbus, Georgia. And you know what I want to do? I want to get some Columbus, Georgia police officers on the podcast. Why? Because their lives matter. Your life freaking matters. Your freaking gift matters. And I don't want us to get blindsided by the politics. Because Biden did some crazy stuff. Trump is in office. He's doing some crazy stuff. At the end of the day, no matter who we freaking voted for, guess who's paying the price for it? So I'm saying to all of us, let's not be moved by these freaking smoke and freaking mirrors. I ain't boycotting nobody. I'm not boycotting anybody. Listen, I'm not sitting on this camera crying because the guy looked at me, he asked me, was I military, and I didn't get a job. Now, you know what I did? I did what the million of us all had to do in our freaking lifetime. Get up, brush the dirt off, and find another opportunity. And so that's what this freaking podcast is about. It's about forget all of the freaking politics and the government. We have to find our own opportunities. And thank God for the internet. The internet has some horrible things on it, but there are some benefits that the internet does offer. And one of the things that we can make our own freaking way. Forget who's the governor and all this kind of stuff. They're going to do what they're going to do. But you know what? When Biden was letting immigrants into the country, guess what? I still had to freaking go to work. You still had to go to work. We were still paying for it. Now that all these federal employees are sitting home quietly collecting a check until the government figures out what they're going to do, guess who's paying for it? We're paying for it. All I mean is you and I, TY, we have to find some type of bridge where we support one another and forget about our freaking differences. Listen, maybe I should light a candle. Maybe I should light a candle. That's not gonna light. Maybe I should light a candle. Hold on, y'all. Maybe I should light a candle. Maybe that's gonna help. Hold on. Let's see. Maybe that's gonna help. Maybe that'll cause some peace in the freaking world. Maybe that'll cause some peace in the world. Maybe if I light a candle. If I sing Kumbaya, my Lord. Y'all get what I'm saying? It's crazy. Smoke and mirrors. And we all gotta be careful. We all gotta be careful. Because we're all on this planet together. Whether we like it or not. Whether we like it or not. Whether we like each other or freaking not. So I pray that businesses don't close down because it is DEI. I pray. Because it's going to affect black businesses. It's going to affect women-owned businesses. But I'm not boycotting. I'm going to spend my money on exactly what I was spending my money on before. Whatever I would support, I'm going to continue to freaking support. Because us boycotting or holding up a flag or a band, I'm tired. America, I'm freaking tired. All this fighting, all this rah, 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 rah. You know how many millions of Americans have anxiety just because of the internet? I'm just tired, y'all. I want to take care of my wife, go on vacation, take care of our home, kumbaya. I want the same thing for you. You know how many men and women are at work so much and they barely get to spend time together, which is why one of the reasons why the divorce rate is so freaking high? Why kids are all over the place because the parents are trying to make a living It's not bad parents. It's that parents got to go out of the house to make a freaking living, to put food on their freaking table for sometimes the kids who are very freaking ungrateful. It's the world we live in. These are all smoke and mirrors. We got to be careful. We got to be freaking careful, y'all. I pray for all of you guys. I appreciate your support. I don't take it for granted. I work full time just like you. I left my house at 5 o'clock this morning. I just got home. My wife is in her office working, and I wanted to do a video because this is my passion. This is what I love. That's what I like to talk about. The things that the kumbaya moments in the world. Some of you can sing. Yeah, you may not have the money to produce it or have, but what can we freaking do? We can all do something to make our life a little better. Freak the government. We got this. This is about us and God. This is about us and our Creator. Not Trump, not Biden, not Harris, not the governor. Anyway, I'm rambling now, y'all. Thank y'all. Let me know what y'all think about this. Just sharing what I feel. I'm hurt by it. Enraged by it. Because at the end of the day, I care about us being able to have a great life for our family. That's why we freaking go to work. Otherwise, we could all be in the house, chilling, playing games, chilling. But us middle class, we can't do that. We can't do that. We don't have that option. We can't sit home and collect a check. I wish I could. You know what? In Jesus' name, one day I will. I'll put the work in for it, and I'll get the residual income from it. Let me say it like that, y'all. Anyway, thank y'all for checking out this podcast, y'all. I was venting. Thank y'all for checking out my rant, my vent. Do me a favor. Let me know what you think. Let me know if the DEI has affected you in any way. Let me know your viewpoints, good and bad and ugly. I don't care about race. I care about equality. When we can be equal. I believe. I guess I'm a dreamer. I just feel like if we can be equal, life balances out much better. I can go on Club Shay Shay podcast, or I can go on Joe Rogan's podcast. I don't care. Just let me get on one of their shows. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter to me. It don't matter to me. Both men have equally put the work in. And that's what this all needs to be about. People who are actually putting the freaking work in should get freaking rewarded. No matter what color you are. No matter what your sexual preference is. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I'm out. I'll be back with another video real soon. All right, peace.
To boycott and be like, no, we're not spending no money at these organizations. Listen, I get it. And if that's how you feel, honey, I 1000% get it. But so many of us will be affected, and our sales will drop. Our business will be hurt. And if any of you know business, it doesn't just happen overnight where you can just go take all your stuff and pull it off the shelves. There's a process. And then you got to, like, where are you going to put it? You got to have a place to store it. That's money, right? You got to have another place to sell it, which is almost impossible sometimes. And even if you sell online, it's a process when it comes to business. And everyone does not have the funds or the means or the availability, the space to house their own products.